Well, hello everyone. Bishop Chris Johnson back again here on the Zion Bible University YouTube channel. And I want you to know that I am excited that you are even considering being obedient to God and starting a new ministry. For the past 17 years, I've been pastoring Zion Christian Ministries right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, a church that started in my living room from scratch. And I want to share some of those tips and ideas, experiences, and mistakes with all of you. This video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 people you need as you get started. The top 5 people you need as you get started. What's interesting about this list is that if you asked me this back then, 17 years ago, my 5 would probably look different. Because we started from scratch. We really didn't have a model. We were just trial and error. But experience has taught me. I think that if we started today, these would be the 5 people we would need, especially in the context of today's climate. So here it is. The first person I think you need, besides you as the pastor, is an administration person. Someone that just handles all things administration. Someone who's going to help you with legal documentation. Someone who's going to send out news letters. Someone who's going to send out emails. Someone who does all the behind the scenes administration, who works with the number 2 person I'm going to talk about is the discipleship person. Person who handles all of the teaching slash training and the new members orientation. Should be working hand in hand with the administrative person. I think this is so vitally important. You're starting this new ministry, and what if people actually start joining? You need to know how you're moving new members. Not only that, managing new members, keeping them engaged, helping and tracking their growth and attendance. The administrator and the discipleship person needs to be working hand in hand. Thirdly, I think what's very, very important is a ministry operations person. That once you start to really, really nail down your ministry operations, and we talked about models in another video, so you'll have to go back and look at what we were saying about having ministry models. So if you have a good ministry model, if you know how you want this ministry to operate, someone needs to be in oversight of the operations of the ministry so that it can run smoothly week in and week out. So I believe that is a very important person, a ministry operations person. Then, what we have seen in today's climate, not only should we have an administrator or a ministry operations person, but I think it's important to have a media person. Now, 9 times out of 10, this media person is going to also be responsible for some of the aspects of worship. So when you're talking about media, it includes sound and video, and it includes the songs, and if that is that kind of ministry. And the reason why I really didn't feel like worship or the music aspect had that much significance, because when you're just starting out, especially your first year before your official launch, you may not have singing and you may not have music. You may not even have enough people for that. But 9 times out of 10, you will need some kind of streaming, or you may need some online presence. So you may need some graphics. You may have some of those needs. And so I think it's vitally important to establish your media personnel first, especially today. Again, if this was 17 years ago, we may be having a different conversation. But especially after our stay at home orders through COVID, we've seen the rise of the virtual experience. So I really feel like it's important as you're starting to have an online presence, to have a media presence at least. So I think your media person is important. Okay. So we talked about having an administrator. We talked about having a discipleship person. We talked about having media personnel. But then I think it's vitally important for you to have a youth person, someone to handle your youth ministry, someone who is responsible for seeing it through. One of the hardest things to do in a church plant is maintain and manage youth ministry. It's just hard. You have a lack of personnel, you don't have ample staff, you really don't have the resources to keep the young people's attention. So you're going to need someone who can grow with that ministry because sometimes in order to get parents, you need to get the youth. Then sometimes in order to get the youth, we need to really manage the parents well. So I think having the youth person is of great importance. Those are my top 5 people I think you need when planting this new church. If you want more information, I'm telling you, I talk about this more in depthly over at zionbibleuniversity.com. Click on my church planters course entitled Ready, Set, Launch. I think it's important for you to have these 5 people before or while you're launching your ministry. All right. You can download my free ministry strategy guide in the description of this video. All right. God bless you, and I'm praying over your decision to launch this new ministry.